Tonight on the super important show, Lincoln's rocking a mullet, South Korea is rocking brand new sex toys, and people who drive sports cars apparently are not rocking anything. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Diodato, and I've got two amazing folks with me, so let's meet them. First up, Heather Jules Booth. How are you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
I'm great. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I like thumbs.
And our special guest, comedian and storyteller, Rory Scholl. Rory, how are you?
Hello. I'm fantastic.
Rory, tell us who you are. Tell people out there a little bit about more who you are.
Sure. I'm Rory Scholl. I live in beautiful Queens, Astoria, New York. A storyteller. I'm a comedian. I'm a cat lover. I play guitar. I bought too many Funko Pops over the pandemic trying to sell them. Make me an offer in the comments if you want to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Heather, do you want to get us right into it? We got so many fun stories today.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready
absolutely.
to do it?
I'm so ready.
World, you crazy.
Vroom.
Boom. Well, you guys get right into the...
Oh, we get right into it.
Oh, yeah,
we got so much to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's long been a joke, but scientists have now officially established a link between sports cars and small penises. Yes, indeed. A bunch of scientists in the UK decided, specifically the University College of London, said that they surveyed 200 men ages 18 to 74 to see if there was any truth to the cliche that men driving expensive sports cars are compensating for male inadequacy. These scientists have found out, apparently, that there was. They said, we made male participants believe that they had relatively small or large penises by giving them false information about the average size of other men. And they then rated sports cars as either more or less desirable, depending on what penis size they thought they had. Right?
It
And they
like
noticed that.
them.
Oh, it gets better. Here's the thing. So I read the story, and in the story actually linked to the actual report. And I went down the rabbit hole and read the report, and it kind of gets worse because this was them being like, well, this is about penis size. And, did you know that the average penis size is like 10 inches? And the guys were like, oh, okay, I want a car. But they also, I made notes. Let me open up my notepad.
Oh my God.
They also told the people that this was supposed to be a study about, hold on. They were told it was an experiment studying how people remember facts at the same time as shopping for products. So that's how they lured these people in, these men specifically, how to take this. And they were like, oh, so don't forget about, like how do facts affect you when you're shopping for things? Penis size. The keywords in their study were luxury goods, self-esteem, penis size, consumer psychology. It's a real scientific study. And they paid all the participants £1.50 pence the version of cents. Because that's what they paid them.
These are British penises.
These are British people, yes.
Oh, I see.
These are British people, yes.
Wow,
So
British penises too.
So we can't go by that because they're driving on the wrong side of the road. So the whole study is a waste.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's out the window.
Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah. I don't even have a car. I don't know what that says about me.
Right. If only they had taken that into account. That's why I feel this story is not. This study is lacking in details.
Yeah.
But they found that the correlation, there's a definite correlation between the size and wanting the sports car. So of course the Brits were like,
yeah,
yep, we knew it.
That's right.
Yes, Rory.
I drive a double-decker bus, though. Yeah.
Right. How do you explain that? Exactly.
Yeah, I explain that. Yeah.
How do you explain that, you British
still
fucks?
sounds like trickery if they said that. Like if you told me that, I don't know, people will respect you more if you order the chicken or steak. I might be inclined to order the chicken just
Mhm.
because I think that way. That doesn't mean I have a small penis. I mean, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, that just means, yeah, I want chicken. That's it.
But I would argue also that, like, if you're one of the people where they're like, well, 10 inches is the average size, you'd be like, hold on a minute. Like, hold on.
So that was part of what drove me to actually read the study, because I was thinking to myself, like, I'm not even a person with a penis, and yet I am aware of certain, like, sort of statistics.
Mhm.
And I was surprised. Like, I was like, how do these guys not know? Like, have they no knowledge? How did they find a bunch of men who are like, I don't know what the average size is. You tell me, scientists.
Right,
I
yeah.
made them into, like, New Yorkers. They were actually
Yeah.
British. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
you tell me about that. That's not.
You tell me, Professor Dumbledore.
I can hear Chris laughing behind me, hearing that terrible attempt at a Cockney person talking about dick size.
Yeah. You had me at Cockney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Heather? Does it matter how fast the car is, or how nice the sports?
No, it's how you drive. As long as you
from A to
drive.
B. All right.
If you know you've passed your driver's exam, that's what matters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sujatha's asking what accent that was. Nobody knows it, and that's fine.
Nobody knows, Sujatha. It was the people who took that test's accent.
Yes.
The people that answered that ad take that test.
Oh, it's 10 inches, that is? Yeah, we like 10 inches, yeah.
There you go. Oh my God, Dustin, what do you think about this story?
Well, I mean, like you said, I think it's odd that anybody hasn't Googled it at some point. I feel like every guy at some point has been like, I wonder,
That's definitely the thing that stood out, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that seems odd. And I don't know, it feels a little like, it feels a little bit like you're drawing some sort of connection in some sort of weird, like, it doesn't feel particularly scientific. It feels like pseudo-scientific, but they just picked that thing. They were like looking for a thing, is all I'm saying.
Right, because I imagine that they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, so did you know that the average size of a penis is, let's say they went the opposite way, and they're like, the average size is, it's like 2 inches. Hey, what are your thoughts on fancy cars? And the people are like,
I drive a moped. It's fine.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I drive a double decker.
Everybody measures. I used to measure with fruit by the foot. Remember fruit by the foot? That was really
Do you
handy.
remember fruit by the foot? That's
I was
amazing.
like, oh my God. Fruit by the foot, and
then
it tastes like grape.
right, and then did what? and then did what with the fruit?
Oh, I can't hear you breaking up.
What?
I don't know what it did with the nothing. I certainly didn't eat it.
Okay, just got weird. It just got weird. It's my fault.
Yeah.
I made
it
it.
just got weird.
Yeah. Heather, save us from it being weird.
From it being weird? I don't know that I can, Dustin. You asked Rory what he did with the fruit by the foot that he used to measure.
Right. I didn't make him.
So that's on you.
I didn't make him tell us that. I didn't. Like, I just had to ask.
I had to tell somebody.
What did you think?
Somebody.
What did you think the answer was going to be? What he did with it? Because I don't think there's any really normal answer that you were attempting to get.
I mean, I think if he said he fed it to the dog, that would at least give me information. That would at least that would tell me something.
That's where you went. You're like, yeah, you fed it to the dog. Sure, yeah.
Look, part of this show is about us being journalists. And if Rory's going to throw something like that out, I, as a journalist, as a newsman, need to find that out. I feel like our audience would be very upset if they were just like, you just let that go.
And I, as the professional troll, will be the person who's like, what can I meme this into? Hold on. I'll come back to you with something.
I would wrap it like a mummy.
So it's like Brendan Fraser with a fruit by the foot and some kind of
That was it.
joke.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there's a sugar component there, which is just setting yourself up for badness. But you're the expert. I don't want to tell you what to wrap around your penis. I would never tell you what to wrap around your penis. I just feel like...
Thank you. Every other show I've been on, they tell me. But this is refreshing.
I'm glad.
It's very good.
I'm glad we can be so open-minded.
Okay, have some. All right. And Big League Chew used to do it. No, you know what?
That's,
Never mind
I mean,
Big League. That's a pouch. It's anywho.
That's a classic, Big League Chew. I mean, that's a classic right there.
Do we want to move on to the far more classy sex doll story?
Yeah, I think we're ready. I mean, I'm looking forward to the inevitable connections to these things, the thread that will connect them all.
Yeah, I feel like there's a theme. Rory, kick us off. Let us know what's going on.
Yes, South
Rory,
Korea.
pop your mic back around.
Uh-oh. How about now? Better?
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
There you go.
Better. It's just, I don't know what this nut looks like.
It looks like a wire, but now we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I look like an operator now from like 1950. Like,
Yes, operators are calling now. 555. What size penis?
Hello. Truth by the foot. How can I? Okay. South Korea has lifted their ban on imported sex dolls. Pretty good. I didn't know they were banned. They formally lifted a ban on the impact of full-body sex dolls. Half bodies, I guess, have always been okay, but the full-body ones, the government, they decided the government can't interfere in the private life of their citizens. So, good news, South Korea, you can have fuck dolls again. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think for the record, I feel like they could always have fuck dolls. It was just a question of if they were foreign or domestic. Now we're saying you could have a greater variety. Yeah.
Oh, they did. That was the only thing. Okay, I didn't read the story. I didn't. That's what it is. Oh, that makes sense since so many of them are now in customs, but they're about to be free. I just imagine the customs looks like Westworld with just a bunch of these naked dolls there ready to be just attacked.
Free Willy.
So they're coming out of customs. Yeah.
I don't know why, but when you said that, like. I know that I'm a little bit prudish, but when you mentioned that they were all like naked dolls, I was like, they don't put clothes on them, and it was like, there's no reason for them to put clothes on a sex doll.
Why would they put?
But I feel
what kind of clothes are you putting on a sex doll?
I don't know, but there's modesty there at some point.
By the foot, obviously.
Well, it depends. Yes, the fruit by the foot. It also depends on if you're, where you guys are going for a gown. If it's the theme, I don't know, something more casual. If it's a rodeo.
Could be the opera.
How many times you take a sex doll to the rodeo? So the sex dolls are released. Also, they're going to ban the import. Here's what they are still banning: of childlike sex dolls.
Yeah, of course. You should always 100% ban that.
That's good.
That's fine, but can't any doll really be a child? Can't they just go to an American Girl store and say, yeah, her and the one that's dressed like a pilot?
I mean, I hate to say that, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
you make an accurate point.
I think just banning all dolls really.
Banning all child dolls. I mean, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably fair.
Like I want to make jokes about this, but I also am like afraid to make jokes about this.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. I'm for banning all child dolls and Lego figures, because some of those Legos are pretty sexy, right?
Yeah.
Little.
What? I have so many questions about people who.
I am known for taking the opposite argument just for the sake of like, let's have a discussion about it. But I am not going to take the pro-child sex doll side of the argument.
Thank God, Justin.
So
thank God.
I'm just going to leave it on. Yes.
Finally, you take a stand.
Yes. By not taking one.
Here that you can also you can return them.
Sex dolls?
Yeah, the customer service. I know I saw it in here. Yeah, who wants to do that? Oh, here we go. Read more. Yes. You can return them. But do they clean them? Who cleans them? It's not like a sippy cup where you just wash it out and you can reuse it, right?
Right.
Why did you give me this fucking article? All right.
Because when when
What are these made
I
of?
saw a story about Korean sex dolls, I immediately thought of Rory. So I was just like, we have to have him on the show
Thank you.
to talk about this.
But
What
this
are
is
these
great, though.
made
But yeah,
of?
custom officials are giving back people's, like, I guess they travel with them and they try to bring them on airplanes or something and they get seized. Do they buy a ticket for them? Is that?
This is getting funnier and funnier. Right. So this is a legit question. Are they inflatable or are they like non-inflatable? Are they just like set up, ready to go?
I don't know. Unfortunately, there's no. Oh, there is one picture. Oh no, they're not inflatable. They're the whole.
They're the whole
the ones that,
kit and
that
caboodle?
cost around $6,000. I'm assuming. I don't know how much they cost. But I'm
Right. Heather, the inflatable ones you could bring anywhere because they're like tiny. Like it'd be
You
really
pack them.
right.
Yeah.
Nobody would know that you
can
had
pack
it.
them.
Like that's easy enough to bring wherever you want to go. But like one that's life size. That's
I mean, I think you Weekend at Bernie that shit. You put that in a costume, some sunglasses. You put that on the
Yes.
airplane. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not feeling well today.
Yeah,
They're just, flights
that
are
would be great for
scary.
my next high school reunion. Like, say hi, dear. She's like, why is she buzzing and worrying? What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on?
Why does she smell like fruit by the foot?
Airplanes are just, they're just really weird.
And some people are mad because the ban came a little late and retrieved sex dolls become unusable after about 2 years.
Really?
That's what it says. I don't
Did
know.
they degrade?
Well, they're degrading enough. But I think 2 years of seizures. But yeah, I don't know what happens after 2 years. They turned on each other and then they're just like, we're done.
God, I want to know what happens after 2 years.
I don't know.
I have to assume there's like a hardening or something like that would happen.
Dustin,
Or like
is
a
that
drying
the
out.
word? That's
Dustin,
the word you wanted to
Of
go with.
all the words.
All the words.
Well, wait, what word would you use for a thing being soft and then it not being soft? What word would you use?
Well, I thought the thing was just falling apart, so I was going to say like dilapidation, something like that. Not
Hey,
hardening.
it happens to every sex
Yeah.
doll, okay? Don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
Right. I'm assuming somebody in our chat has had a aging sex doll. If they could just tell us what happened.
Please. And give us the website and give us if you have a
Because-
promo code.
Right.
If you have a promo code. Yeah,
That is
promo code hardening.
It's
or
going to be a great name for something like a band, a group.
Yeah.
It's something just aging sex doll.
or if you're a sponsor and you're looking to sponsor something, we'll sell sex dolls. We're not afraid. Heather will do a
The
live
head
read.
of one of the head of one of the companies
Do a
says
live
they're-
read? What's a live read?
No, like where you just do the promotion. Like, hey, have you ever do you like Blue
Oh.
Apron? Like, I'm just saying, you do.
Yes, I'll do
yeah.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, we could do an unboxing of, and then
Oh,
hey. Oh.
I would actually do that. I think that would be, when we
That'd be
say we should do
amazing.
like one of these like live in a theater, that's when we do this.
Okay.
An unboxing of this. Nice.
That's what we do, an
Yeah.
unboxing.
Korean sex dolls.
I'm in.
Cool. Okay.
Also, one more fun thing. The president of one of the companies that does the makes the dolls, they said they were suffering sales, and they know they have various types of people who use their sex dolls for artistic purposes. So, yeah, like a Monet.
Bullshit. Because if you're doing it for artistic purposes, it's a fucking mannequin. But if you're if it's a sex doll, then it's a sex doll. You don't need a realistic feeling hole for artistic purposes. That's all I'm saying.
One
That's
man's
all
art.
I'm trying to
You
get.
don't know. Yeah,
Wait,
come
what?
on.
Just-
Cross that off what is it the kids say? Cross that off my bingo card. Didn't have Dustin saying realistic feeling hole on my 2023 bingo.
Feeling
But
whole.
Well, what's the
There it
difference?
is.
What's the difference between a mannequin and a sex doll if it's not the holes? That's what the
the belief.
difference is.
the belief
love.
you have.
Mannequins you can't snuggle with. They're because of the hardening. So,
Because of the hardening.
Oh boy.
well, good for them.
Oh boy.
God.
I'm so glad and upset that we did this story. Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you did it, Dustin.
I am so glad this isn't live. That's all I'm glad about. All right.
Yeah, we'll edit all out later.
Oh yeah.
And anything else on anything else?
Nobody in
we've
the chat wanted
exhausted.
to admit they have a doll. Oh my god.
No one's admitted to it. No one's come
All right.
forward.
Yeah, I don't know that I will ever meet in my life somebody who will admit to having a sex doll. I mean, because I don't know. I assume I've never met anybody that did, but who's,
No.
you know.
But just say also the very first sentence says they lifted the ban on full body sex doll. So I like. So it used to, what parts did they cut out before? Was it just the face and like a tube, and then I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So half bodies are fine. All right.
Half body's fine, but
Half
full body.
fine. Full body. No,
That's
no, no.
where you draw the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to move on to our next story now?
10 minutes ago.
I think we're ready. Yeah.
Well, Rory, thank you for taking on that story. It was important.
Yeah.
People needed to know about it.
Important journalism.
Now that we've gone through a couple of sex stories, now we're just going to go to a regular weird ass story. This story is about artificial intelligence and how one artist used artificial intelligence to recreate some of our favorite presidents, or not favorite presidents, some of our presidents, and asked. Let me get the exact wording, because he had a very specific intent when he did this. He went into the AI. It's a guy by the name of Cam Harless, who's a podcaster in, I believe, Florida. Which, sorry for you, Cam, for being from Florida. And he went through and he asked the artificial intelligence to create every American president, but have them all be cool and be sporting a mullet. He began with Joe Biden, and then went on. So I collected some of my favorite ones. Originally, he said his inspiration was he wanted to try and make a video of Donald Trump and Biden in a buddy cop movie from the 70s in a Roadhouse kind of feel. So let's go through some of these amazing presidents. Let me get everything up in front of me. The one you are seeing in front of you right now is Joe Biden.
Oh my God, he looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
That's awesome.
I actually, this was the promo photo like on the YouTube, and I didn't clock that this was going to be Joe Biden.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. This is probably the one that looks the least like the person. But let us move on. Next up, we got Barack Obama, who looks super cool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Barack Obama one. I love the mustache in that I hate the mustache, but I love the mustache. I love how much I hate the mustache.
I like the sunglasses. Yeah.
Definitely awesome.
I mean, him and Biden together, man, they could be in a buddy cop.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Bill Clinton.
This is just how he wants to look. Like, this is like when you see the cat, the art interpretation of the cat that's itself, but it's painting a tiger. This is Bill Clinton's how he sees himself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is when we start getting into the cult preacher.
This one's amazing.
Mode. This is definitely not the most cult preacher, but there are a couple that really super are. JFK.
Jay. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Definitely owns a hot rod of some kind. Definitely a racist for pink slips.
I'm gonna call it. I actually think he looks cooler like this than like when you see pictures of him as just himself.
Right. Like
he looks more badass here.
Yeah.
He looks like he'd be the lead in the remake of Roadhouse.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice till it's time to not be nice.
Yeah.
Moving on to come on, move on. George W. Bush feels like he could have been an Independence Day. He feels he's got like a very
he looks like Bill Pullman.
Yeah. I was annoyed because I don't like him, but in this picture I was like, the guy seems kind of cool. Like that guy seems like...
Yes, I would have a whiskey and a Pabst Blue Ribbon with him.
Yeah.
Right now.
We also have the other Bush, who seems
Right. I'm already scared. Oh
Right.
no.
Well,
Oh no.
yeah,
No.
he's got more of a
That-
like a corrupt sheriff vibe
This
going
is
on
a
in my opinion.
nightmare. This is a
Yeah, he
goddamn
does. Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah.
This is.
He looks like-
have you
he
ever heard
looks-
of that? Have you all ever heard of that kids show Lazy Town, where they had like the villain that was made of like basically wearing a rubber outfit? Like
Yeah.
that's what he looks like. Thank you, Rory.
Yeah.
That is what
Yeah.
this
I
looks
know,
like.
lazy. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. This is horrifying.
Did we bring up previously Seventh Wheel's comment of Kennedy looks like the toy manager for Leonard
Oh
Skinner?
yes.
Because
We sure
because
did.
He totally does.
Mhm.
We got a few more coming up. We got Ronald Reagan. This is where I feel like we get more into like the preacher, the cult leader kind of feel. It's also he's
Like
also
he's
got
wearing
his
a polo
Hollywood.
shirt. It's the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like I don't know, like he would sell drugs out of the back of a van.
I can
I
see
think
that.
so.
But he wouldn't drive
Yeah.
around. You know where the van is. He just sits in the van with the back open.
Yeah,
fishing.
you come to
You're like,
him.
"All right."
Mhm.
Yeah, you come to him.
Moving on. The last two I just went with weird.
What the hell is this?
right.
What is this nonsense,
Woodrow
Dustin?
Wilson.
Yeah, they really took creative freedom with the earrings. I feel like they really went out of their way on the Woodrow Wilson. I also couldn't pick Woodrow Wilson out of a lineup generally, but I had to go with this one because
This is insane.
yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
unique hairstyle.
Like maybe in an Allman Brothers cover band or something.
Yeah.
I believe
Cashew Brothers.
we have two more. We have our next one is Chester A. Arthur, which feels like I feel like Danny McBride played this character at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Wilford Brimley too.
Yeah,
This is
It
amazing.
could also be like Jack Black as Boss Hogg in a Dukes of Hazzard remake.
yep.
It's all those things rolled
Yes.
into. It's everything we're naming rolled into one.
Now I really want them to make this.
It's amazing.
Wow.
The last one that I'm gonna have here is the person who was not president, but I would argue probably should have been. So I wanted to include her. Oh no, wait, we have Lincoln first.
Oh man.
Lincoln's my favorite. Lincoln's my favorite.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh my God. What? What is his
What?
necklace? Is it a log cabin? What is happening here?
Probably.
Wow.
This guy makes
this is-
moonshine for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Wow.
all the people that smoke, this guy smokes the most. Like this guy
Mhm.
is definitely always smoking and definitely
Mhm.
flicking it
How
on
much
things
is
all the
your-
time.
My moonshine is $4.07 ago. Wow.
Mhm.
Some of the I
What
don't
is-
know who you called Wolverine's cooler, mellow, or older brother. I'm gonna assume it was.
I believe it's Lincoln.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a wild guess that is in fact Lincoln.
Yeah. This is my favorite. As I was telling these guys beforehand, the same artist has done professional wrestlers and rappers for all presidents. We're hopefully going to do that in the future. Lincoln is always the best.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing I accidentally teased before, just so we had it, Hillary with a mullet, although I would argue that she already pseudo had a mullet to begin with.
Yeah, that doesn't look too much different.
Yeah.
This just I feel like this is just going to be me in like 20 years. Let's be real. I'm looking at that. I'm like, I'd rock this. How
Yeah.
does this look?
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
pop collar kind of thing going and
Little pop collar, little
Yeah.
leather jacket, sunglasses. Don't mess with her. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
This is practically your headshot from the opening rotation,
Kind of is.
just with different lighting.
Kind of is.
So
Yep. There it is.
anyway, that's what we got for this. I really appreciate this artist, and
Pretty
hopefully
good.
he just keeps making these things. In the future, we'll probably do rappers next. Some of the rappers are really good, because we couldn't do the first bunch of presidents because George Washington already had long hair. Like most of the presidents in the top 15, 20 already had long hair because that was the thing. So the mullet picture didn't really work. But seeing them as rappers with face tattoos, seeing George Washington like that, totally worth it. So we'll come back around. But generally the rule here is if mullets are an option, we're going to go with mullets first because mullets are ridiculous.
Always.
So
The Joe Dirt collection. I like it.
so there's our presidents. Before we get into what the fact, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps you know when we have new episodes coming up, and it helps other people know that you enjoy the content and that they might as well. So please just take a moment and click down wherever it is that you can click and like and subscribe. That will help us so much. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. Which brings us to our next segment, which is What the Fact. For folks who have not seen this segment before, we will ask you a question. I will ask a question to my two other amazing co-hosts. They probably don't know the answer to it. They might. Rory's a very smart man. He knows a lot of random things. He might know these. He might know these things. It'll ruin it if you do, but you know.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
So, and then
it's not about Funko Pop or cereal. I probably don't know it.
Okay, cool. And so, chat, please play along. Try and guess the answer as well, and we will see who is right. So let's go with question number 1. Before 1939, toothbrush bristles were generally made of the same thing. What were they usually made of? The things that you put in your mouth to make your teeth clean. Was it cooked hay? Was it pig's hair? Or was it cow eyelashes? Generally, every toothbrush that you could get before 1939 was made of one of those three things. Rory, I'm going to come to you first. What do you think you would have put in your mouth in 1939?
Same thing I'd put in my mouth today, and that's cow eyelashes.
Okay. Every day? Every day?
Every day. They just go, the big doe eyes, it's so cute. Rip them right off.
Cool. Heather, as a vegetarian, which of these things do you think you would put in your mouth?
I hate all of these. Well, I hate 2 out of 3 of these.
Yeah.
But I feel like knowing how people did stuff back then, I'm going to go with pig's hair.
Okay.
Because I think pig's hair is like pretty bristly. Okay. So I think they probably like killed pigs to cook them and were like, oh, this would work for, I don't know who first was like, rub this on my teeth, but.
I'm not...
The trick question. Pigs don't have hair.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or do they?
Maybe they. So Topping is the only person from chat who joined in. Topping went with pig's hair.
Topping says pig's hair also. Yep.
Okay. And the actual answer is 2 of you are right. Yes, it is pig's hair. Was what they used to put in your mouth to clean your teeth.
Alexa, do pigs have hair? All right. Well, I guess they do.
All right. Question number 2. Douglas Adams, the writer of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, had a bunch of weird jobs before he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Which one of these is an actual job that Douglas Adams had? Was he the front desk attendant at a brothel? Was he the person who was responsible for editing penetration out of movies on the Playboy Channel? Or was he the bodyguard to Qatar's ruling family? One of these are true, and I will, just so I don't throw it off, this isn't one of those like multiple ones are true. Only one of these are in fact true.
Because I was gonna pick all 3.
Yeah, it's not the case this time. But Heather, I will go to you first. Which one of these was an actual job that Douglas Adams had prior to writing Hitchhiker's Guide? Have you read it? Do you know? Did he talk about it? Yeah.
I have actually not. I know that makes me a bad sci-fi person. It's from is it from like the 30s, 50s? Can you tell me that much?
It is not from, no, I don't believe it's from the 30s. I don't even think it's from the 50s. I think it's more from like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, is it like from the, okay. You know what then? I'll go with penetration editor.
You go with penetration editor. Okay.
I'll go with penetration. I was going to go with brothel attendant, but if it's not from the 30s, I feel like at that point, I don't know.
You think the job of brothel attendant dropped off?
I think the job of brothel attendant probably dropped out. Yeah. Yeah.
But who's greeting people at a brothel, Heather?
I think it's just you're just walking in. There's security. I think it's security now. I don't think it's an attendant. I think it's security.
Clearly, you've never managed a brothel. So
Brothel
It's the
bouncers.
South Korea sex dolls do it now. The sex dolls
That
just
is
sit there
right.
as the program. Oh no! Final, for God's sake!
all right.
Topping really wants it to be C.
Yeah. Rory, what do you want it to be?
Oh boy, Lionel. Well, we know what Lionel wants it
the
to
cat
be.
is out of Lionel. You're too young to talk about brothels and penetration. I think. Well, Qatar is clearly made up. So, so I'm going to say I'm going to go with brothel attendant because I think maybe he saw a bunch of weird people. He came up with these characters from that. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that brothels are weird. I'm just saying he probably.
There's definitely going to be a cast of characters.
Yeah, a cast of characters, especially where are their legal brothels? Vegas, and didn't he live in Vegas? No, I'm making things up now. But I would think brothel attendant.
Okay. So you're going with A. Heather, you're going with B.
Lionel. I'm going with B, and I think Lionel is going with C because it's the word Qatar.
Okay.
Lionel Qatar. Yes, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then it turns out that you and Topping, or the Topping and the cat, were the right ones. It was bodyguard to Qatar's ruling family.
Good job!
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice job, Lionel.
And for the record, I included penetration editor because I knew somebody whose actual job that was.
That is a real. Oh my God,
Yes.
that's amazing. I hoped that was a real job.
Yes, that is in fact a real job. That because Playboy Channel would buy hardcore movies, but they couldn't show penetration, so somebody had to go through every movie and take out the parts that made it like hardcore.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's a supercut of the edited parts somewhere.
I asked the guy like how that experience was, and he's like, it's kind of fun for like a day, and then it's just like very upsetting because especially at that time there was a producer and an editor, so it's just two dudes, and they were always dudes. It was just two dudes sitting in a room watching hardcore porn together, cutting out like the penetration parts. It was very upsetting. So, but it is a job. It is not one that he had. It is in fact bodyguard to Qatar's royal family, which I don't understand how you get that job, but he did, and he stopped having it eventually. Which brings us to our final question from What the Fact. A young Errol Flynn was an interesting little dude. At 9 years old, he made something. I will try my best to explain what these things are as we go, but one of these things is true. One of the things that he made was, did he make a duck centipede? Did he make the award for best curse word? Or did he make a trench coat for 3 children? Rory, I'm going to come to you first. Which do you think is the thing that a young 9-year-old Errol Flynn actually created?
Like, is a duck centipede like a drawing of that, or did he sew ducks together like the Human Centipede movie? You can't answer that.
I can't answer that.
I'm gonna say hopefully he didn't do that, especially at 9 years old. That's a kid who has a box of cat skulls under his bed. That's not right. I'm gonna say an award for cursing, because maybe cursing was a lot of new curse words back then, and maybe he.
Okay.
That's my guess.
All right,
Lionel, what do you?
I think Lionel agrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's so loud.
Heather, what are you thinking?
So cute. I think I'm going to pick a 3-kid trench coat, because where does that joke come from? Where did it start? Someone had to start it.
Someone, Errol Flynn, maybe.
I'm going to go with Errol Flynn starting 3-kid trench coat. And Topping says she's going with all 3 because we have yet to be tricked by Dustin yet.
Right. I will say I'm not tricking anybody today. This is not an all 3 either.
All right.
Can I just say, if it's not a duck centipede, I want to know why you came up with that. So.
Okay. So the actual answer, just to ease your mind and also upset your mind, is a duck centipede.
Oh my God. What is that?
What he did was he found, I forget exactly the thing, but he found that there was like a type of food that the duck would pass very quickly. So he tied that food to a string and then fed that food to the duck. The duck would poop it out, and then he would put food on the string and then feed it to the next duck. So eventually he created a 4 or 5 duck collection of ducks on a string all tied together to create what he
I hate
refers
this.
to as a duck centipede.
Oh, I hate this so much.
Yeah, I wish I didn't know that. Oh,
But you
Wow.
You do know it now. And
I hate that so much.
yes, right?
Annie Sage joined in, heard duck centipede, said that's a slight relief, and then went, nope, not anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's not right.
so now anytime you see anything with Errol Flynn in it, which is probably not that often, but if you're watching those sort of class of things, know that he was a full-on psycho. Because who creates a duck centipede except a full-on psycho? I know he was 9, but still.
But still, who thinks that?
Yeah.
Who puts that together?
That's lighting fires away from being a serial killer, and he probably did. So
yeah. He should have just
find out about that. Who did he? Who
he told people.
Wow.
He told people.
He told people
that.
Yeah. I mean, I found it in like an article, but like he must have told people about it. So that's a thing we know about Errol Flynn now. I do wish it was a 3-kid trench coat. I really wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
now I just want to know who first made up the 3-kid trench coat thing, because
I don't know.
Somebody made that up.
Right? Wow. No, that would have been a better like story to share with other people afterwards, but it wouldn't be the truth. It'd be a lie. Errol Flynn is a fucking psycho.
Finding out like Humphrey Bogart had people in his basement like Saw, and he just laid there like a dead body for hours, and then it's like, yeah, see?
Yep. Well,
wow.
Well, not
you're dead. See, seesaw. It's a seesaw.
Not every what the fact is going to be something that makes your life better. Sometimes it's going to be the thing that like will
the thing that makes your life worse.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah. It'll be a thing that haunts you. So tonight, when you go to bed and you're visualizing a duck centipede, and a little young Errol Flynn,
it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I have a question.
Okay.
What if we get all these banned sex dolls and we start feeding them centipedes little by little? Can we create a sex doll centipede?
I have a hard time believing.
Live show.
I have a hard time believing that a sex doll has a full digestive system. So like I'm gonna go ahead and assume, with no previous knowledge, that the mouth hole does not lead all the way to the butthole. Like I'm gonna assume that's just too much work.
They made some freaky dolls for kids in like the late 80s and early 90s. So I'm just saying there was definitely there was dolls that pooped. There was one that you like fed a French fry and it was cutting kids' fingers off. Yeah.
Ooh, yikes. You add AI to that, and that's just going to kill us.
AI to that.
Dolls are going to start killing us.
We've got a live show.
Yeah. Where do you think you're going, Rory? No. It's the Megan in real life.
Oh my God.
This is a weird one tonight, guys. This is a weird one.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to palate cleanse. We're going to palate cleanse with some of these would you rathers.
Okay.
You think we will, but okay.
Yeah. We'll find out. We'll see. Hold on. Let me get to the right graphic. All right, then Heather, kick us off for something that's probably less sex related, but I mean, who knows?
I would. It is, but I feel like we're going to make this. We're going to turn this. Okay. Would you rather dance all your movements, or would you rather sing everything you say? So either every time you move, it's a dance, or everything that you say, you are singing. And I will come to you first, Rory, as the guest.
Oh, well, considering I just hurt my back sneezing 2 days ago, I'm going to sing everything I say. I would like to sing like a Disney princess. I would sing everything I say. Most definitely. Because dance all movements, like you'd be dancing all the time.
Everything's a dance.
Sometimes you can just be quiet and not say anything.
I will say, like, the way that I interpret this, and it's my question, so I'm saying that it does not have to be good dance. You don't have to be doing precision choreography. You can just be like you're dancing.
Yeah,
but all movements.
Because that sounds exhausting. So.
All right, Dustin, what about you?
Okay, so I feel like this one's like biased against me, in that like I sing horribly, but I'm gonna go with singing because my fear is like I'm already in danger walking like normally. Like anytime I'm trying to get somewhere, like I feel like I'm like I bang into shit all the time. Like that's just a byproduct of me being me. So if I gotta like spin around and do jumps and shit, then like I'm definitely going to hurt myself like all the time. So I feel like I have to go with singing, even though nobody wants that. Uh, I will also say that like so one of the ways that I like exercise, I probably mentioned this on the show before, is I have one of those like VR helmets where I do like a boxing thing. So you're like punching these little like things that come at you. It's sort of like it's sort of like a Guitar Hero kind of thing, but you're punching the thing instead.
Nice.
But they also have like an option that's just like dancing where they like. So I tried like the beginner, like just like the introductory class, and I was like a minute into it before I was like, nah, I don't. No, like I can't. I don't have moves. I know I don't have moves. The minute they were like doing anything, I was just like, no, my body doesn't do that. So I got to go with singing, even though my singing voice is horrendous. But I feel like you would get used to it, and maybe it would just be a joke eventually. So that's a really long way of saying sing. I don't know why I felt like I needed to go that deep into all that. But
you know what? I love that you did.
Yeah, I have problems, so that's why.
So I this is probably going to surprise y'all because y'all know I love to sing, or if you didn't, like I love to sing. It's one of my favorite things. I love it, and I think I'm a pretty good singer. However, thank you. I have several times throughout my life shared like office spaces with people who just sing. In fact, some of whom like sing their work while they're like doing work, and they're like, and it annoys the ever living fuck out of me. So I look at it from that perspective of I would rather save the singing for like special, like for it to really be a thing that means something. And I would rather dance all movements. Also, because I'm a terrible dancer, but I still tend to like, I'm always like bopping around or like doing little silly movements or whatever. And I just enjoy that. So I feel like I would rather do that. I would rather be like, I'm walking to the bathroom, dance, 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 dance.
But what if you were at like a funeral and had to get up there?
I mean, that's a good question.
You're just like,
but
he was a good man.
I guess if you were at a funeral, yeah, it's better if you're singing the eulogy because then it could be very touching.
Yeah.
Whereas, well, I guess I could try and do a sad dance, but I feel
sad dance. Yeah.
I don't know that would.
Funerals fuck up like 95% of Would You Rathers. I feel like.
Don't they? Yeah. Because I'm like, well, what if I was just like, but I'm like, no, that's still.
Yeah. He was a charitable man, and he will be missed in his community.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like to think that at least the dance would be situation appropriate. Like you're not like you don't just have to vogue because that's where it came up in the rotation. I like to think you would at least be doing a dramatic dance.
You got to do the Cabbage Patch at an interview or something, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm gonna go with dance all movements. I think that I would enjoy that more. I think that singing everything would become really tiresome, both to other people, and I would probably like lose some of the, like just the joy of that if I was just doing it all the time.
Okay. I mean, you work at, also like you have an unfair advantage here because you literally work at a dance studio. So you could you can get away with dancing all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I can, but no, I really can't actually. Like, that's actually the worst place to be dance. If I was good, that's different. Like, if I was dancing everywhere with these, like, sick moves.
Right.
But I'm not, so.
I think it would encourage you to take classes. So.
You would think, but we are a very professional studio.
Do we want to pass it over to Rory?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
Okay. Would you rather have a song stuck in your head forever or have an itch that you can't scratch? Never scratch that itch. Dustin.
I'm gonna go with the itch that you can't scratch. There was a no, I know, but like there was a thing I was reading about. Like there are certain times where you're itchy because of like a specific thing, but a lot of times you're itchy just like psychologically. So like you can make yourself not be itchy just by like not focusing on the itchy thing. Like sometimes just like itchy is just like I don't know, it's like a weird like your brain. So my point is that I think I can like work my way out of like feeling itchy by being distracted by other things. But if I have a song in my head, I can't be distracted from the song because it's the whole point of the song. Is like the whole thing. So I feel like you know the way like if you hurt your ankle or something like that, but you're like really busy and doing important stuff, sometimes you don't realize that your ankle is hurting because you're like, well, I have a thing that I need to do. Yeah. I feel like that's what I would do with the itchiness. So I'm gonna go with itchy. Not a very funny answer, but
and it's not even one. And it's an annoying song too. But every song that would be stuck in your head, I think, all that time would start to be it. Anything would drive you crazy. I have a thing I was explaining to Joy, and Joy was very surprised by it because she didn't seem like it was a thing that would normally be a thing. But every once in a while, I will get the idea of, instead of saying possibilities, I will think possibilities, and then I will just keep thinking the word possibilities over and over and over again until it drives me fucking crazy. So that's my version of a song stuck in my head sometimes, is just thinking of like, think of all the possibilities. And it's like, why are you thinking that? What are you, like, a fucking commercial? Anyway, enough. You can get obsessed with things. You ever do something like you have something, just something small, like if the dishes are piling up in your sink, and then you do the dishes and the dishes are done. Do you ever go back and look at the sink and picture it when the dishes were in there? And you're like, remember when the dishes were in there? And then you're looking at the empty sink. No, is that just okay? Other same question. Let's move on from that.
I am going to have to go with the annoying song for a couple reasons. One is you know how people are always like talking about having an inner monologue and how like you can hear your voice, which I can, but I also almost always, like, I'm going to say like 95% of the time there is music just playing in my head. Never, it's just random, but I've like always got songs just floating around, and it doesn't really bother me so much.
This is the same song.
Yeah, I have had like annoying songs stuck in my head. Call Me Maybe gets stuck in my head a lot more than I'd like to admit, and I don't know why, but it does. But I've also lived through a couple of years ago. Yes. What?
But like, Call Me Maybe is like somewhat infectious song. If it was like Cotton Eye Joe and it was just in your head all the time, would you?
Why is that the song you picked, Dustin?
Because it's repetitive and irritating. Because it it just gets right in there. Whereas
let's agree it's Baby Shark. How about it's Baby Shark?
Okay, Baby Shark.
Is pretty horrifying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
it's pretty bad. No, I'm still picking it because. So what I'm saying is that about a couple of years ago, probably longer than a couple of years at this point, I still don't know what it was, but I had a really severe allergic reaction to something, and I had hives and could not get them to stop. Like, I would take a Benadryl and like it would stop them for almost exactly the amount of time it said, like 4 hours, and they would come back. And I just remember laying on a couch with these hives thinking to myself, like, I understand how people lose their minds. It was so awful. It was like really one of the worst feelings. And I just think that, and I'm like, I could not live through just having an itch that's there that I can't scratch. I can't. I think it would drive me nuts. Like, legitimately, like, not jokey joke nuts. Like, I think it would really,
like duck centipede, like duck centipede nuts.
Duck centipede nuts, exactly. Like, suddenly I wake up.
Forgotten about that.
Right. Suddenly I wake up and I'm like, this is a good idea today. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with annoying song. Okay. It won't be fun, but I'll go with that.
I'm gonna agree with Dustin and go with itch. You can't scratch because I think you can talk yourselves out of pain or distract yourself. There was an old Honeymooners episode where Ralph had a toothache, And Norton told him just to keep repeating the phrase, "It doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt, my tooth doesn't hurt." And it worked for a little while until it didn't. But I think you can do it, and just talk yourself. Sort of like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to pee and you just talk yourself out of it, at least for a little while until it takes over. I think I can maybe try to control that. But the annoying song would drive me mad.
Yeah.
I worked on a cruise ship for about 4 months, and every other hour they would play the song Fireball. Do you know that song?
No.
Every other hour it would be like,
think so.
all right, pass it. It goes.
Oh, yes.
Fireball. They would
I
do
still
that.
don't know it, but I don't like it.
Oh, and that drove me nuts. And I was on the ship for 4 months. If I had one more week on that ship, I would have jumped overboard. So I'm going with the itch.
All right.
Lionel likes it.
I've mentioned this on the show before, but there's a ride at Disneyland Orlando called, I believe it's Disney or maybe Universal Studios or whatever. It's the Men in Black ride where you you shoot aliens. You go in a little car and you shoot aliens or whatever, and it drops you off in the gift shop. And in the gift shop, they play the Men in Black song on loop all day, every day. I went to the guy behind. I was like, the guy working there was like, "Did they ever play anything else?" He's like, "No, they just play that song
I know that,
over and over again."
Yeah.
Could you just imagine every day that you went to work, it's just a Men in Black song, a 3-minute long song on loop all the time?
Yeah.
Like you could definitely
That's
shoot
good.
people. You definitely shoot people.
I used to work at the NBA store, and it was all the time. It was, "Y'all ready for this?" Dun, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's like, "Are you ready for this?" So, right. Yeah. So no, give me that itch.
Yes. All right.
Lionel, what do you think? There he is. Any thoughts?
Lionel jumped up and had some definite thoughts.
He did. He's like, "If you sing Fireball one more time."
Yeah.
Let's get to our last question. Would you rather, and Rory, I'm going to come to you first. Would you rather have your own theme song that plays every time you walk into the room that's like cool and fun? Or would you rather there be a laugh track whenever you said something funny?
I would definitely want my own theme song.
For what reason?
Yeah. Well, the laugh track, because sometimes I think I'm funny and I just go with it. But if I thought it was funny and I didn't get that laugh track, I'd be depressed all the time.
But yeah, like the universe would empirically be telling you that it's not funny. Yeah.
It's not funny. I'd be like, but that's funny. I don't want to know how unfunny I am throughout the day. So I would rather just walk around when I enter a room and the DuckTales theme goes off or something like that. I think that's
that's a good choice.
that I'm not funny. Yeah.
Okay. Heather?
Definitely.
I'm going with also your own theme song. I feel like I already kind of have my own theme song because the amount of people who always are like, "I heard Africa and I thought of you." Or like I go somewhere and they're like, "Hey, it's Africa." Yeah. So I feel like I already come with that theme song, and I just think that's fun. It's cute. It's whimsical. You walk into a room, there's a theme song. I think laugh track when you're funny, I agree completely with Rory, where it's like, what if then you think you're being funny and you don't get the laugh track? But also the reverse, what if you're not trying to be funny and you get the laugh track and now you're just like, no, that's not no. I just feel like it's so annoying. I would not like it. And I feel like, and also like, I'm assuming everyone can hear this laugh track. So how annoying is that? Whereas your theme song is like, you walk in to hear a theme song. Maybe people are like, here comes that theme song again. But also I like to imagine everyone has a theme song. So like now it's just like fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unless it's Fireball. If it's Fireball, then I don't want to be around that person.
So this one to me, you got to go with the funeral test on it. Like if you're going to a funeral, which would you prefer? In that case, I got to go with laugh track. Because if you have the DuckTales theme and you walk into a funeral and the DuckTales theme plays, everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? My only fear with the laugh track thing is that, like, I like to laugh at funerals pretty frequently because I'll make dark jokes. So I feel like if everybody all of a sudden heard the laugh track go off, if I was, like, whispering a joke into my wife's ear, in the back of the funeral, and they'd all turn around and go like, "You asshole." So I guess, which is an argument for theme song, because I can't control the theme song, but I can control if I say something horribly inappropriate at a funeral. So maybe, all right, given the funeral test, I will go with theme song, because I've talked myself into it. Because
yeah, Dustin.
Because I almost entirely because I want to be able to make inappropriate jokes at inappropriate times and get away with it without being called out by the universe. Because I think the universe would find my inappropriate jokes funny. I think the universe would get why I'm laughing at the awful thing.
We'll have to ask the sex dolls.
That's the ultimate thing. You take a sex doll to a funeral, and the DuckTales theme song starts playing, and then fucking Errol Flynn comes in with the duck on a string for decorations. Perfect. That's a perfect day.
I mean, you tell me all those things, and I'm going to say two things. One, oh, it's New York City. Two, this person lived a cool life.
Hell yeah. And it's the whole buffet afterwards is just fruit by the foot. See? It's all coming together.
Don't eat the fruit by the foot. Do not eat it.
Please.
Don't eat it.
And I would steer clear of the giant Reese's peanut butter cups as well. Trying to think of a deep candy. All right, never mind.
Okay.
Deep candy. Deep candy.
A deep candy. I drive a sports car. It doesn't have to be that deep. So.
Yeah. And I'm also like, what is a deep candy?
What's a deep? Yeah, like a chunky. I don't know.
I mean, it's not a candy, but you could go with scoops. Like scoops.
I don't know what that is.
Scoops are bowl. Like they're not candy. They're like the
chips.
Yeah.
What? Don't be weird.
Are you trying to fuck a scoop?
Candies.
He's trying to fuck a Reese's peanut butter cup.
But that makes sense. Right. Fucking a scoop.
But he was looking for something deep. A scoop is deep. That's all I'm saying. In terms of food that is deep, a scoop is deep. That's all I'm trying to get at. Don't try and make me the weird one here.
If you think a scoop is deep, you must drive a sports car.
No,
all right.
I'm just comparatively to other food. That's all I'm trying to say. We gotta go. We gotta leave. Wait, cake? Topping saying cake. Is cake deep? I guess it depends on the cake, but like cake is tall, but it doesn't have.
I'm going back to Annie Sage. Let's get back to buffet.
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christmas. This show went off the rails a long time ago.
Yeah, it did.
So, Rory, I guess my question to you is if people wanted to see, since we are out of questions, if you wanted to see more about what you do based on all the stories from tonight, where can they check out what you got going on?
First thing is, there's a double shot of Rory on March 31st at QED. I've got a 7:30 p.m. improv show, Plan B from Outer Space. It's an improvised sci-fi movie, an old-timey Hollywood thingy. And then right after that, I'm hosting the QED Presents, which is a stand-up night. So improv and stand-up. And then I've also started these comedy tours with Top View Bus Tours, where you can get on. I learned the tour, and I'm sprinkling in some bits, and we do some improvised songs up top. So you can go to the Top View website for those. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
That sounds amazing.
And and on social?
I am Rory's Rangers. Look, there it is right there.
Yeah.
On Instagram. And I'd give my Facebook, but I get in Facebook jail quite a bit, so I don't.
That's part of the fun of being your Facebook friend, though.
Yeah.
Heather, what about you? What's coming out?
Red Shirts just booked a show, but it's not until May, so I'm not going to expect you to keep that in mind yet, but we will be doing a show in Greenpoint in May. And then otherwise, I think nothing this week. So Red Shirts Musical Improv. You follow the intrepid Red Shirts Musical Improvisers at that handle and find out more about what we're doing.
Okay.
And I'm sure I'm going to have more. Yeah.
I was telling Dustin about you doing stand-up as a chicken, and I couldn't remember your chicken character.
Dumps McCluck.
Dumps McCluck, right?
Dumps McCluck.
Can we get one of your chicken jokes?
Oh man, I don't remember them anymore. Dumps
But you had a
was
costume, yeah, the outfit and
I
everything.
had a whole costume.
Yeah.
So Dumps' whole thing was that Dumps was like the bad relative of Huey and Dewey, and he was like Scrooge McDuck's, like brother or something that was, from the wrong side of town.
Everything's
It was very right. That's when you said DuckTales that made me laugh.
Oh.
Yeah. So like he was broke. He was definitely the complete opposite of Scrooge McDuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dumps McCluck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work for Disney. We had to create our own pirates, and they wouldn't let me use this pirate. But I came up with a guy named Spanks Me Planks, and they wouldn't let me.
They wouldn't let you use that.
No, and he had a theme song.
So
I got splinters in my fingers because I spanks me plank, and they're like,
oh my god!
yeah.
How dare they not let you use that?
That is awesome.
Kids wouldn't know. That's a great joke because kids would think about it and they'd sing it and it gets stuck in their head. And then one day that kid is however many years old and
like,
becomes an adult and is like, oh, yeah.
Anyways, all right. And for me, if you want to follow me on social, you can follow me at DDATO on Instagram. I posted a bunch because I went to Iceland and then now I won't post again for like months. And then we lost Rory. He didn't want to do that. You can also follow Super Important Stuff for updates there. And if you're going to be in the New York City area, and you probably will, you can check out my my one-man show, To Save Life, at the Pit, part of Solocom, this upcoming Saturday at 10 p.m. It's worth staying up late to see it, which that might not be late to you. I don't know. I'm old, and now things are late to me. So, Rory, wherever you are, thank you so much for being part of our show, and thank you all for watching. We will be back next week with another fun show, and hopefully less or more disturbing stories, depending on what is your preference.
See what's in the world.
Yeah. Have a wonderful night.